No savings तो कुछ थी नहीं ना. We had no savings. That's what I told you. We came Delhi only.
नहीं नहीं but when you started in 2009 and you already did about 2 3 years of
No,
job and your
savings
husband
was
also job.
nothing. We used to live whatever we used to earn. We used to spend. The salary
Okay.
were not that high. We were getting basic salaries to
अच्छा.
complete our basic needs. That's it.
Okay.
Our salary was very, very less. I was getting my 4,000. I started my job. I was getting only 4,000 bucks.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you.
But seriously, 4,000. I mean,
4,000.
oh my God. Hi, hello, namaste to all my listeners. I'm your host, Sarthak Varshney, and I welcome you all to the Balls of Steel show, where you get an insight into the business mindset of the entrepreneurs. Dhandho ni Soch. Our today's guest is Miss Nikky Gupta. Hi, Nikki.
Hi, Sarthak.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I am doing very well. It's a good day, bright morning.
Yes.
How's yours?
It is certainly bright and good. Nice morning, as always.
That's that's good to know. That's good to know. So, Nikki, let's proceed ahead. And why don't you tell me what is the business that you're into, because of which we're gonna say that you've got the balls of steel.
Okay. Okay. So, Sarthak, I am. So we have a business of teamwork communication. It's a healthcare specialized healthcare communication firm. We provide 360-degree solutions to our clients when it comes to the healthcare communications. We do disease awareness campaigns, we do hospital communication, we do doctor relations, we do many things, brand management,
Okay.
hospital management. That's the key forte that we have. Along with that, we certainly look after the many other sectors as well, but when it comes to the healthcare, teamwork is India's leading healthcare communication. People come to us, they reach out to us only because we have niche and specialization in healthcare. So apart from that, we do work in education and other verticals also in corporates. We have
Mm-hmm.
big corporates, but healthcare is very, very close to our heart, and we put our whole energy and soul for that.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, that's really good to know. Okay, so Nikki, let's dive deep into this journey. And why don't you start from the very starting point of your entrepreneurial journey and tell us everything in detail till the current point at which you are?
Sarthak, it's a very, very emotional journey for me. I'm sure for
Okay.
many entrepreneurs it will be. Um, you know, um, so I am from a very good family, and I shifted Delhi after marriage, I would say,
Mhm.
and my journey started after that. So
Okay.
we came Delhi only 8,000 rupees.
Okay.
And when we reached Delhi, we had nothing. We had only big dreams, and
Mhm.
from there we started. So I joined communication firms to work as a communication expert and the public relations expert, and then I worked for 3.5, 4 years in various public relations organization. And after that, I understood the need of the specialized communication firm, because
Mhm.
where I was working and which all organization I worked, I realized there were specialization is something which were missing. But those years, reaching Delhi with 8,000 rupees and standing here with 8 cr turnover is a, of course, very long and a very hard work journey. It is very, very, we did a lot of hard work to reach here.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. So that's the journey that you have told me in a very, very concise manner. But I'm sorry to say that we don't do concise. I'll go very deep into this journey and pull out anything and everything in terms of learnings and mindset that I can.
Certainly,
So,
certainly, certainly. So, when we came Delhi, we thought, so I was working. My husband was a journalist. We both were working in different organizations. So, as I just told you that having that, the need of specialization PR, but we had no money to
mhm,
sustain that. We were
mhm,
doing many things. We were doing translations. We were working day, night, whole day without stop. We started working. So we got our first client. I still remember that check when we hold it. So we started our journey in 2009 December. So
okay,
we created our account, and that's how Gmail account, and that's the date I considered as in, our foundation day.
okay,
And we still celebrate that day only, and we have just completed 10 years in the industry.
right,
And
right, right,
so
right,
when we started, so as I told you, healthcare. So we first approached the first two calls we did. The second call we got the client. The journey becomes
wow,
interested. It's really really interested, because when we reached to the client, he said, wow, we are waiting for somebody like you guys to help us for the brand.
hmm,
He was a plastic surgeon, that known plastic surgeon. He was also a startup but known in the industry. He
okay,
helped us to, within 2 or 3 months, we
hmm,
got our first multinational corporate account.
wow, okay,
And our second or a third client also, were healthcare client only. So that's how we, is thought the more need in healthcare communication, we started working on that. And that's how, journey began, and we never ever looked back, never ever. So we started working
hmm.
with the, can I tell the name?
Yeah, it's absolutely up to you. I don't mind that.
So we started working for Botox, the brand owner of
Wow,
Botox. So
right,
Botox was our first multinational client. We started working, and it was really phenomenal journey. We work for India's all the top dermatologists across India. It was a massive campaigning that we did. We did a lot of, because Botox has a lot of medical, apart from the wrinkles also, it is used for many medical,
hmm,
this thing also, complications also. So we did
right,
disease awareness campaign, and that's how these campaigns help us. And these our hardship in lot of thing places helped us to get many more clients. So that's how we started working. And we started with 2%, and today we are team of 60 70 plus people. We have offices in different places: Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore. We are working, and have office in multiple places now.
wow, that is just wow. Honestly, that's wow. Okay, so let's start from the very beginning, Nikki. Okay, and I do have a lot of questions that are gonna teach us a lot of stuff. So, what my first question that comes to you is that you told me that you come from a good family background. So, I need some definition around this good family background. Or what do you how do you really define this thing? What is it? Are you good to do family, or in the nomenclature that we follow in India, middle class family, upper class family? How do you really define it? I really want to know this because so that I can somewhere understand that where does the
So,
seeds lie.
absolutely. So I come from a upper middle class family, I would say. A
Mm-hmm.
well-sound family of Uttar Pradesh, a very known
Okay.
family of Uttar Pradesh, being a Banyan Guptas, and born and brought up in town of Kanpur. So
Right.
it was good, but it was then, if I'm saying I reached Delhi with 8,000 rupees, so it was a love
Uh,
marriage. When
okay.
and so this is it, yeah.
Okay, I get it. So kind of a run marriage,
No,
runaway
no, no, no,
marriage.
no, not like that. It was a very self-esteem kind of a marriage where we thought that okay, we have taken this step and we will prove everybody that we have taken a right decision. It was arranged marriage.
Okay, 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 okay. That's nice. Yeah, that's nice then. Okay, so what I want to know now is, coming from a good to do family background and everything, and coming from Kanpur, and what we really know about Kanpur is somewhat, uh,
Industrial town.
it's the industrial town. But when I talk about the nature, I mean the nature of people and the kind of people that I have met from Kanpur, it's like, most of the people in Kanpur are very fun to go and chilled out in life, right? That's how I have seen people. I might be, kind of prejudicing it. I'm so sorry, but that's how my most of the experiences with people have been. So I really want to know that, if you were a similar kind of a person in your early age, and since you were good to do from a good to do family background, so what were your initial days like? Were you from the business background, or was it a political kind of
Absolutely.
background? And
Absolutely.
where does the scene really lie for this entrepreneurship? Whom did you see?
My whole family, my father. so
Okay,
so my father, so I'm, as I said, I'm born and brought up in a Kanpur, and in a family where women are content playing household role, but I was
right.
always itching to explore new avenues early in life. So I learned the basic of entrepreneurship and the skills of conducting and expanding business
Mm-hmm.
by observing my father.
Okay,
Okay, so
right.
business is in my blood, I would say. Uh,
बनी होगा तो वैसे भी खून में होता है, I would say.
so I would say this because everybody in my family has business.
Okay.
Everybody. I would say I
Wow.
how I am different, but that's I am a woman entrepreneur. Nobody is in my family is woman entrepreneur till date.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay,
So
that's
then
how
that's that.
sense means that's how I stands apart.
I get it. I guess that makes it pretty evident how you have got your business instincts in you and everything. So, moving forward, if I now come to the part when you really started your journey, and so the first question that really comes up to my mind is that you definitely came to Delhi with your husband, and you had 8,000 rupees just with both of you, and you wanted to start out the journey, and definitely you took a job. But the major thing that since all your childhood and all your life looking at the family stuff, business stuff, when the privileges that definitely come with a good business in the family also, uh, didn't it really go through your head ki yaar, I wouldn't do a job because probably I might not be meant for it, I'll only do a business. Why should I do a job? So and what did this really go through your mind? If yes, what really provoked you not to do business and take up a job, and what was the mindset then?
See, I always wanted to do something. Doing business
Hmm.
on the day one will not be a good idea for anybody. Of course, you have
Hmm.
to learn the nitty gritties what you want to do. And
Hmm.
so I would say my husband is quite not quite, he's very, very encouraging. He encouraged me to do it. So when I joined, to be very frank, when I joined mass communication, enrolled myself in mass communication, my faculty told me, Nikki, you are meant for public relations. Though I joined journalism course, he
Hmm.
said, Nikki, you are meant for public relations, not for journalism. But I still said no, I want to pursue journalism because वो journalism का कीड़ा होता है ना आपके अंदर.
Right,
So,
right,
but,
right,
I worked also as a journalist couple of months, but I didn't enjoy that much. So when I reached Delhi, in smaller cities and the towns, you don't find much opportunities of communication 13, 14 years back.
right.
Not much opportunities. When I came Delhi, I joined, I think I reached Delhi on 23rd of March,
Hmm.
13, 14 years back. And I think after 2 or 3 days only, I got the job from in
Okay.
first interview only I got the job. And
Hmm.
so that's how it started. And I'm telling you now, I think within first year only I was the manager. And I was managing the entire show in all the organizations I worked. And I maintained really good relations with all of my ex bosses and all everybody.
Wow. So that means you really had it in you from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So
Okay.
teamwork is much bigger where all I used to work. Much, much, much bigger.
Okay, okay, okay. A very quick and short question before we proceed ahead with the rest of the mindset question. Thank you. Just enlighten us a bit about with your educational background.
So after college, I joined this mass communication, as I just said.
Mm-hmm.
After mass communication, I started working with public relations. So
Okay,
BCMC, I have
okay,
done that business of master journalism.
okay, okay. I get it. I get it. So, Nikki, how many jobs did you really switch before starting the business?
To be very frank, I was very, very selective when I used to work.
Okay,
I was very selective. In the only in first job, I worked only for 2 3 months because I was not getting my salary. To be very frank, I
okay,
never got my first salary. But
okay.
and after that, I was being hired by a known firm, which
Mm-hmm.
I would not like to name, and
That's okay.
I got offer from all the big daddies, but I never worked because they were all. I wanted to work the way I want to work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I believe that when you are working with the smaller, relatively smaller, or the medium organizations, you get to learn a lot of things. You get a lot of exposures, which you don't get
Right.
in the bigger firms. So that was, I was very clear because I wanted to learn where I want to excel. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how I worked in 2 or 3 firms. 3 firms I worked,
Mm-hmm.
and then I started my own. In fact, my first business partner was my ex boss.
Wow. Okay, okay, okay. I get it. I get it. That's nice. Okay, so now what I really want to know is, uh, in your after your third job, right? What was the real trigger that okay, now this is the time when I will leave this job and step into the entrepreneurial journey? What was the trigger and what was the mindset when you were about to leave that job and everything?
So I'll be very frank with you. The biggest trigger, as I told you initially, that saw the demand of the specialized communication firms.
Mm-hmm.
And healthcare was since beginning was quite close to our heart, and so that was the whole idea. Because when I was running the whole show, and you know coming from hardcore business family, I always very, very clear that I want to start my own business since beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, working with somebody under someone was not my idea, never ever. But yes,
Mm-hmm.
there are times when you need to learn and you need to understand the market. So I did that, and immediately after that, I thought to start my own communication firm, and successfully
Okay.
completed 10 years.
Yes, that's something that we know and that's something really to be proud of. Okay. So now the next question that arises is, what did you really pick up, like in terms of the learnings from these by working at these three different firms that you kind of applied in your business, apart from the thing that you told about in terms of specialization and some other thing, like what you really picked up which you didn't know probably know before,
Probably don't know before.
right?
I think we created our own niche, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
where I was working, those were completely different organization. One was lifestyle, and another was
Mm-hmm.
tech. I worked
Okay.
extensively in the tech sector. So when I moved
Okay.
out from the organization, it was a big news in the during that time, around 11 years back. So
Oh,
I was handling all big giants that time, tech giants. So I was pretty known. I think I am still the journalist who used to coordinate with me. They are the top editors of all the pink papers now.
wow.
Okay, so
Right.
um, I was working with tech and lifestyle communication firm, but healthcare, as I said, it requires a different strategy. But what I learned is during, personally with my personal experience, that delivering to the client is far most important. If you will not deliver to your
Mm-hmm.
client, you will not be able to sustain in the market. No matter what you are
Absolutely.
communicating, no matter what kind of a strategies you are giving, at the end of the day, all the client, what they look for these strategies. So strategy is something, delivery,
Right.
something that you really need to focus on if you really want to sustain in the market. And service is
Mm-hmm.
something, of course, definitely important. Being into service sector, servicing, I'm very very good, and I always we maintain our long relationship with our clients.
Right, right, right. I get it. Okay, so before I really jump into your business games and to start getting your mindset out of there, there's one thing that I personally believe, and from that I'll bring out the next question. That Nikki, everything that we do in life is somewhere inspired from something, and sometimes we have seen something or something has happened with us. So you have again and again mentioned and told us that you guys have a different love for the healthcare sector. So what I really want to know is, where does this love really come from? I mean, is there some experience that has happened with you in the past, which, really triggered everything in you as a person that, this sector is different and that, created all the love around it. So is there a story behind this?
No, there is no, to be very frank, there is no story behind it, to be very frank.
Okay.
Me and my husband, we both used to do health reporting before starting this healthcare communication firm, or before coming to Delhi. We both were into
Mm-hmm.
different healthcare communication beat covering in different publications. So healthcare, it's not about healthcare, we understood the market. Okay, there are different
Mm,
PR agencies, they are delivering, lifestyle, corporate, education, tech, but what about
mm-hmm.
health? So
Right.
it is, when we see many startups coming these days, right? The prime
Right.
focus of the country right now, not the country, for the whole world right now, is what? Healthcare,
It's health. Right.
right? So what we understood, that time, it was a majorly that, and that's how we work. And coincidence that we got the first healthcare client, so we started working on that. We just when we started working, we worked for many other sectors also. It's not like that only healthcare. In fact, to be very frank, we have many other sectors also right now. As apart from
Mm-hmm.
healthcare, we are working for a lot of education client, good number of education clients. We have
Okay.
corporates also, big giant corporates, listed companies, but that's a very small business. The major
Okay.
business, the major bread butter and the revenue coming from healthcare. Yeah.
Okay, okay, I get it. Okay, so moving on into the business. So, tell me more about how you really started this thing. So, how was this? Was this bootstrapped, or you got some investments, and did you and her husband put in all your savings? So, how did you really start around this thing?
No savings to kuch thi nahi na. We had no savings. That's what I told you. We came Delhi only.
No, 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 but when you started in 2009 and you already did, about 2, 3 years of
No,
job and your
this
husband
was
also job.
nothing. We used to live, whatever we used to earn, we used to spend. The salary
Okay.
were not that high. We were getting basic salaries to,
Acha.
complete our basic needs. That's it.
Okay.
Our salary was very, very less. I was getting my 4,000. I started my job. I was getting only 4,000 bucks.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you.
What, seriously, 4,000? I mean,
4,000.
oh my God. That is, honestly, I don't understand. Were the times really bad 10, 10, 12 years back then in terms of journalism in the media industry? Or what was it like? 4,000 to a journalist and a PR manager?
Actually, to be very frank, what has happened, that time, PR industry was not that great initially. In today's time, people pay 10, 15,000, but 13. Think about 13, 14 years back. people were not getting that much salaries. And when it comes to, freshers, so when you join any sector, you don't
I
get
know,
20,000 rupees or 15,000 rupees.
I know.
So
My God.
I was getting very basic salary, but within
Hmm.
1 year I was
Hmm.
40K.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. So, but
Right.
still, as you grow, your lifestyle changes, and you need to meet
I
other
understand.
things and all. So, we
I
had no
understand.
savings, to be very frank, and we borrowed money from our relatives to buy
Mm-hmm.
our first laptop.
My God. Okay.
So, it is completely bootstrapped, and we spent around 25,000 rupees to buy our first laptop, Lenovo laptop. I still have that, which I keep in my museum.
Right.
So,
Right.
that's how first laptop, we borrowed money, and we returned, I think, within 3 months only, all the money, what all money that we took from our family relative.
Mm-hmm.
We returned that. So that was a really proud moment for us.
That definitely is a very proud moment. Honestly, that's a very proud moment. Otherwise, I really understand how the families are. So on this very part, I really
I
wanna.
just add one more point. We
Sure.
informed, one very interesting thing. So, one day my, sister called me. She said, I was trying to call you. Where are you? So I said that I'm going. When we started, to be very frank, I told my journey in a very short and crisp manner, but it
Huh.
was very, very interesting because, as we, as I told you, we had not enough money to survive also. So
Right. So I really want to know those
our
survival
salary was
instincts.
our salary was so less. So
Huh.
we used to do translation
Right.
morning evening. We had no laptop, so we used to go to cyber cafe, you know do the translation late in the evening, early in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So many, so much, those days I can never ever forget that. So one day when my sister called me, where are you, I've been trying to call you. So I told her I'm going to buy lock. She said, lock for what? our,
Huh.
we never informed our family that we both have left our jobs and we have started our communication firm, or we have started our business. They will say that, are you mad? Why have you
Right.
uh, left your settled job and doing something on your own when you are
Mm-hmm.
actually earning a decent amount now?
Right.
So we told them when we actually completed, we shifted in our first office, which was
Mm-hmm.
Shapurjat. So
Okay.
then we informed them. After 2 or 3 months, we informed them.
Okay. 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 That's quite the thing. So actually, I was really gonna ask you this thing only, that since you just now told that you borrowed money from the relatives, and you also just now told us that you didn't inform your parents and anyone that you started the business. So what I want to know is, how was the support? Because definitely I knew this would be coming from them. Why are you leaving the job and all that stuff? And borrowing money is again, in the families, how it is, like, for everyone in any family, when you're borrowing money. So what was the really support really like? Was there some sort of pressure, or what was it really like? I want to know it.
Support was, in terms of financial support, I they never deny, to be very frank.
Uh-huh.
When it comes
Uh-huh.
to moral support, they never say anything, and we don't listen to anybody. We do what we want to do. We are very, very clear what we want to do. When we decide
Right.
something, to be very frank, when we take any decision, we don't discuss with anyone. It is our decision, what we want to do. We are very clear since beginning. When we decide something we want to do, we never discuss. We always believe in our dreams, we always believe what we are thinking, and we have that power to deliver, we have that power to achieve and fulfill our dreams. We are very, very clear in our thoughts.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay. So before I, really move on and get more from the business thing, you've again and again told us that it's been a very emotional journey, and all the things have been very tough for you, and you also told us the cyber cafe incident that you would go there. So I can really understand the struggle that you're speaking about, going there thinking about the better days that would probably come in some time, and working really hard for everything. So I want you to tell me some incident which is really stuck with you, and which is like the most emotional incident, which you really look back and it's like that was the thing. It could be like anything, from the initial days, job days, from the transition part. Just tell me that one of the very striking incident, whichever you remember.
Sarthak, it's very emotional.
It's okay. It's okay. See, that is why you are the entrepreneur you are, because of those emotional journeys.
I'm to be very frank, I'm not very good. I'm being into communication. I will say that I'm shy. I myself is not very good communicating myself, expressing my thoughts, what I'm feeling right now. To be very frank, I'm feeling so emotional from within. When we came Delhi, na, we had no money to buy even mattress for ourselves.
Okay.
Okay, it's I'm telling you a very very basic thing. Very
I know, I know. That is what I really want to
that's
know.
the journey started. But I used to live in Munirka. We stayed only for 2 months there.
Uh-huh.
There were, some blessings were with us. I would say it's has always been with us. We picked up really fast, really really fast. Our
Hmm.
journey, coming after Delhi from 8,000 to 1 lakh, we reached, I think, very faster, very very fast, because we worked really hard. Day night we worked so far. It was so fast because I used to stay in Munirka, as I just said, and I
Hmm.
always dream to look after Nelson Mandela Road, and I always say, okay, this is something which I always dream for.
Right.
So it was very fascinating. Vasant Kunj is always has been very fascinating for me. I stay in Vasant Kunj in today's time, so it is
Right.
very fascinating. So, but what to say? Um, so sometimes we were, it was difficult for us to save money for our sometime basic need also.
Okay. I guess that has what has really made you and your husband.
Yes, yes, absolutely. We both are what we are today because of our tough times. And But we really enjoyed that moment, and we always remember, and we always tell our team whenever,
Hmm.
on every work anniversaries, they love to hear it also. They always tell us, they always ask that, please tell us about your journey, what is it all about. And I can never ever forget my first employee, first team member, who is still connected
Hmm.
with us. She is no more in the
Hmm.
communication business.
Hmm.
But we are still connected with her. We enjoy, we meet, we chat, you know. So that's how. So when
Okay.
we started our first office from our home,
Right. Right.
and everything, as I just said, was moving so fast. Within 2 months only, we took our first rented office. So,
Wow.
and every year we were changing our office. Every year we were growing big. And we don't stay in any office more than maximum 1 to 2 years, because we
Is that true right now also?
hmm?
Is that true right now also?
um, it's been 2 years only we have stayed in this office, but still we are hiring, we are growing. I would say we will not say in this corona time we are not growing. We are
Haha.
doing, by God grace, we are doing decently good, and we are growing.
No, that's really great, yeah. Okay, okay, okay. So this is really nice to know that the growth has been really fast, and I guess it should be right to say that your hard work and all your knowledge has really paid you and your husband off. So now there's one thing on the very starting point that I want to know, and this is something on a relationship basis that I would, and in terms of business, I want to relate them. So you told us that your husband is a journalist, and you yourself are from a mass communication background and then working into PR. So you both are from the very same fields, right? There's no difference. So what I want to know is how does this really help? Because definitely you guys started together and the company and everything. So how did it really help in growing together, and what was there in terms of the synchronization of the mindsets and all that thing? Because sometimes it happens, let's say the husband is in the different sector, the wife is in a different sector, and then they try and understand each other business, and then they help each other. Okay, you can do this, you can do that, and sometimes you both in the very same sector, like in your case, right? So how did it really help you guys, if you can tell me something about it?
No, I can tell you a lot about it.
Then do please, please. You have all my ears. I really want to know about it.
Okay, so to be very frank, it's a interesting thing that how we are helping each other, and we are the best part that how he's coming from a hardcore journalism background. So being a journalist, he understand. Now I'm a hardcore public relations person. I still consider him as a journalistic mindset person,
Okay.
because he
Okay.
still see that story ideas and strategic point and those neck of understanding things sometimes where I lack, so
Mm-hmm.
we combination, it's a deadly combination, I would say. So we help and support each other. If one person is lacking, of course the another person is supporting. One person
Right.
maybe cannot have the all the qualities, right? It's me or he, both I'm talking
Right.
about. So it's a quite a deadly combination, where he lacks I support him, where I lack he supports me. So that's how we work, and it's quite a interesting twinning with us when it comes to work. We are
Mm-hmm.
hardcore business partners. You will not believe that the clients who have been working with us for 5 years, 6 years, they were not even known that we are husbands and wife. Even many of our employees, they will get to know even after joining couple of months if somebody is telling them. So we are very very professional in terms of our work, to be very frank.
Wow.
He
Okay.
supports in terms of ideation and all. Now the entire business is completely taken care by me. He helps in certain pitches and all, but the entire
Mm-hmm.
business is communication business is under me now.
Okay. Okay. That's really interesting the way that you guys have been working, and I really can't believe that employees get to know this after a couple of months.
Yeah, we
Wow.
were in a Goa trip. We It was a fam trip, a media familiarized
Right.
trip of a brand,
Right.
where we took
Mm-hmm.
across 20-25 journalists from across India, and client were not even aware that we are husband wife. So we always maintain, that kind of a professionalism when we are coordinating, but so it is very important, I believe, that when you want to grow and all, because we consider this organization as our first baby, and we have put our everything, hard
Mm-hmm.
work, so much hard work to make this company grow, so much hard work. Nobody can imagine. Every entrepreneurs, they put their hard work, so much hard work to make their company grow. This company is everything for us, everything for us.
I can completely understand. Okay, so coming back to this journey after really understanding you and your husband's relationship in terms of the work culture, that's quite insightful. I would definitely say that, because you've kind of deceived everyone standing in front of you, and I really can't buy that. But if that is the reality,
No, no, I'm telling
so
you,
I
I'm
will
telling
buy
you,
that.
people don't know, since we have so many different, we have different businesses now, but still, if we are sitting in a same, we have different floors, different business mandates now. So now,
Hmm.
but I'm telling you, that time also, if we are, it's very, very professional. The people who know us now, you can really ask them.
No, no, I completely understand. Okay, so now coming back when you guys really started, from the first laptop and taking the things ahead, and you're closing your second call as your client. So now my next question that really arises, that you told us something in very small words of the first check, right?
Yeah.
Now tell me exactly about it. What was that feeling, quitting the jobs,
Was
start borrowing money, and then the first check is there after two calls, like literally two calls.
Sarthak, I still have that scan with me.
Oh my God. Seriously.
Yes, I still have that scan with me, and sometimes when you, I'm sure you must have heard that Adani keeps that scooter with him. So it's like that. We have kept that laptop and that copy of that check with us because it keeps you motivated. Is it This helps you to remind where you started.
Right.
One should never ever forget that from where you started. In fact, whatever you have today, whatever we have today, no matter what, I always teach my kids and the other, even to my team members also, at some extent,
Mm-hmm.
we should really
Mm-hmm.
value what we have today. We should really value. And it was really emotional moment because when you are working, doing job, and when you get salary, that's a different moment altogether. But when you earn as an entrepreneur, you get your first amount, your first break. So it really helps, it really encourages you. Like anything, you really go crazy with things.
Okay, I completely understand. Now the next thing that I want to know is something on in terms of management. Okay, so now you told us that within the first around 2 3 months you had your first MNC close, and your first office being your home, and the next office, you rented your first office within the next 2 3 months. So now tell me something about this management criteria, that how did you guys really work around this thing? Okay, now we're gonna hire so many employees, and we're gonna rent this place, and we're gonna manage this money this way, and all those things. So what has been your strategy since the beginning for growing the company and utilizing the every penny that was flowing in? Because right now whatever the amount flows in, that was for everything, that was for you, for your husband, for your basic
we,
expenses, for your office, for
yeah,
your employees, everything.
we never saved money, to be very frank. We never
Okay.
believed in saving money initial days. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
um we were when we took our first office in Nehru Place,
Mm-hmm.
I still remember we cut the check of around 90,000 rupees.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
2 months advance. But
Okay.
okay, so when we step out from that office, broker office, I
Uh-huh.
was telling this the same thing to one another interview. I was saying I really got emotional that time. So when we stepped out, I was discussing we don't have money in our account, 90,000 rupees. How will we pay that? What will happen when he will put the check? And at
Right.
the time we reached to our vehicle,
Right.
we got money in our account. The client deposited the money. So that's how I'm telling that God has been quite helpful, and we have been quite lucky to do things. We Initial days we didn't plan, I would say. We never ever planned initially, I would say. We just
Mm-hmm.
wanted to grow. We wanted to
Right.
do big. Things were keep coming. um when you were asking about how we are, me and my husband, how we are helping each other, how we are going.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, he's very strategic, I'm very result oriented. If I decide, okay, okay, this is what we have to do, then we
Right.
decide. Okay, so that's how we complement each other. So
Mm-hmm.
let's say if he has taken, okay, we have to shift in a more, because Shapur Jat was not a very we wanted to do a very systematic, and we want to look very professional and all. So
Mm-hmm.
within first year only, I think I think in 6 months we shifted our first office to Nehru Place. Because my office was in Nehru Place where I used to work, so we used to think, okay, we should have a office in a commercial place.
Right.
so that more people will feel okay, this organization is more structured, organized, they have office in a professional, not running other PR agencies, running from home. We were very very clear since beginning on these things.
Right.
We believed in saving money. We wanted to do what we want to do. When you are
Mm-hmm.
clear what you wanted to do, you want to do, things will happen the way. I'm a believer of that. So that's how we move forward, and we shifted our office and we got money by god grace. So that's how I keep working. When it comes to growing organization, that's keep happening. It's a process.
Mm-hmm.
I will still say it's a process. We are still following that process and
Mm-hmm.
trying to learn and grow.
Okay. Okay. That's quite something, I would say. Okay. So now the next thing that I wanna ask is something that I'm gonna again pick up from the conversation. So you told us that you're still connected with your first employee, and you guys chit chat and everything, and you also told us that your in your other business, your first partner has been one of your ex bosses.
Hmm.
So I kind of understand that the kind of relationship that you kind of maintain in your firm is something very personal and very professional both, and you have a very good culture in terms of that. So I just want to have some insight. What is the really the kind of culture that you guys are maintaining out there, and where does it really comes from? From your parents' business that you would have seen in your early ages, or did your parents, did they teach you something? Because like you tell your kids right now, कि don't forget your roots, and that's something my father also tells me a lot. कि साहब तक कभी भूलना नहीं, तुम कहाँ से आए हो, पैर जमीन पे रखना. So that is something that parents do teach. So I want you to connect those two dots, right? And tell me if there's some connection that you can find and enlighten us.
When you grow, to be very frank, Sarthak, when you
Hmm.
grow from scratch, no, from
Hmm.
scratch, I'm telling, then you learn certain things in your life on your own.
Right.
Certainly, your parents teach you, but you learn many things when you do your hard work.
Hmm.
ओके, कहते हैं ना, जब आपने घाट घाट का पानी पिया होता है, देन यू
I
लर्न
know.
थिंग्स, राइट?
Right.
When a person who starts things from scratch, they always learn basic learnings of life, right? They know
Hmm.
to go forward. Certainly,
Right.
as I said, that coming from a business man family, business hardcore businessman family, I'm telling you, I don't have a single person in my family who is doing job. We have 100% business family. So
Right.
learn basic skills there, and being a baniya.
Hmm.
These are the things that we learn in our culture. But yeah, maintaining relations, we are into communication business. We maintain relations, and if we will not maintain relation, it will be difficult to survive. And sometimes, I feel, because why I was partnered with my ex boss, because I was doing good. If somebody is doing good, then only your boss make you partner, right?
Right.
So that ways I was doing and managing the whole show. And if how I'm connected with my ex employee, because she's still close to my heart. She was our first employee, and she helped us to grow also, because in front of her only we hired 10-15 people. So that's how
Uh,
grow and you stay connected. And she was a very good girl, also very good person, a good human being. Few
hmm.
people are like that, you still want to stay connected.
I completely
So
understand. I can.
being into relation, because the full form is public relations. So if we will not maintain relations with our own people, how we will survive? So it's a whole business of relationship. The public relation is a relationship business. The more relations you will make, the more
Right.
you will grow.
Definitely, I can
With your
understand that.
employees or with the clients, with the media, with anybody. So having good relations are really important in this business, or in fact in every business. Doesn't matter in which business
Hmm.
you are, you know.
Right, right, right. I agree to that. Okay, so next thing that I want to ask, Nikki, is that every business we do have some sort of hiccups, and since you've been on a very fast journey by God's grace and things have been growing, so probably there would have been some failure or some hiccup that would have come your way, right? And which would have taught you a huge lesson. Or you, although your complete full journey has been really really struggleful, but there's still one failure, one hiccup, probably something went wrong with any client or anything of that sort. So if you have some story or some incident which taught you and some failure you can share with us, tell me about it.
uh, Not in initial days, to be very frank.
Mm-hmm.
uh, I was in fact thinking, if you will ask me this question or some struggle or hiccups or some bad thing, so what will I say? In fact, I was thinking, to be very frank. But usually what happens, Sarthak, I actually don't remember a big hiccup. But yes, I was
Whichever comes to your mind first.
it's a quite recent one, I would say.
No worries, tell me about it.
Not a hiccup. Somewhere I was feeling that we were overconfident on something, but we lost the account. But it was
Mm-hmm.
the biggest thing for me. Sometimes overconfidence is something somewhere I feel that we missed out. But otherwise, no big hiccup. But one hiccup is something which I can relate to right now. But
Mm-hmm.
otherwise, it has always been wonderful. In pitches, we are so we launched the
Right,
GST reform when it came in India.
right.
The one teamwork was the one who was managing the entire show.
Wow, okay.
Okay, so we got selected, and I was very closely. We were working with the entire government, revenue secretary, and everybody.
Right.
The second time it happened, we were very. I'm very very frank. We were very, maybe we were very very overconfident or what, I don't know, but
Mm-hmm.
they were so happy. In fact, they extended. We worked for 2 years for the client. But when it
Wow.
happened for the second time, we did
Mm-hmm.
mistake in some basic mistakes which we did, because it's a
Mm-hmm.
government process, right? So that was the biggest mistake that we did. Otherwise, somewhere you one should not be overconfident. That is my
Mm-hmm.
learning from my mistake. But otherwise, it was excellent. They matlab, it was fantabulous journey.
Okay, so on this part, the, matlab, this probably might be a cliche question, right? But really want to know this because I want to know this from an entrepreneur's perspective. So, they say that at the initial days, you need to know where you're coming from, and when you have everything, then you need to know how you manage stuff. So, you've kind of seen both, right? And this mistake definitely happened in the quite recent times. So, I mean, what was the mindset? What really was going through your head? Ki okay, हमने गलती की, and is it because we reached a certain height and that we are a known name out there, or I forgot my roots, or what really went through your head that you came back to a realization? Okay, Nikki, this is something I need to do, and this was wrong, and this is where we need to get back. What was exactly there in the head?
It was no, of course not to forget the route. Of course not to miss. I think it was completely not understanding certain areas what client is communicating.
Mm-hmm.
Not if you are not taking the brief clearly, or if you are taking the brief clearly but you are doing some mistakes and you are making your perception and creating those content or those pitch accordingly, so certainly
Mm-hmm.
you lose the point. But one has to be very bang on when you are doing your big media pitches, client pitches.
Okay, okay, okay. I get it. Nice. Okay, my next question to you, Nikki, is that so what I really want to know is that what are you really struggling with in your business right now? I mean, apart from the pandemic, what is are your current struggles?
Struggling is not in our dictionary, certainly.
Uh-huh.
We don't believe in struggling. We are where we learn. Certainly, we are learning more to expand. We are not
Uh-huh.
struggling, to be very frank, where the agencies and the firms are really struggling to get the clients and the basic things they are firing. We are hiring.
Yeah, I understand, right?
Okay, we are hiring, we are getting accounts, we are doing decent work in the market in the pandemic time. And we are learning, I think we are doing daily crisis communication is the new need of the hour, so we are doing that also. But in terms of struggle, of course there is a restrictions, because in this period you can't expand much, right?
Mm-hmm.
Keeping that opportunity also, there is an opportunity, right, to whom we
Mm-hmm.
can't hire. Let's say there is a lot of skills available, good skilled people
Mm-hmm.
are available in the market, so we
Mm-hmm.
are taking it as an opportunity for us to grow. And we are exploring certain markets also, to grow in certain areas where we are not there.
Right, right, right. So now since we're talking about expansion, Nikki, and we also talk about like specializations earlier, and the reason that your company actually started because if you found the niche of specializing in this very sector. So what I really want to know is now to you are a competition yourself and you have competition in other sectors because definitely others have also realized the need of specialization.
Of course.
So how are you really working around the competition and killing it, or putting that down, if that would be the right term, either ways.
See, to be very frank, it doesn't matter for me much what competition is doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the time you will start looking for others now, okay, what they are doing,
Mm-hmm.
you are doing a, you actually get conscious, right?
Mm-hmm.
Since beginning, we are very clear. We are focused what we want to achieve, right?
Mm-hmm.
People are, of course, definitely there are mushrooming agencies and the mushrooming growth, in terms of people are coming up and doing healthcare communication. But we need to understand, when when a tree is little stronger, it does
Mm-hmm.
get affected with the storm. Okay, but when the plant, a small plant, will be shaken with the wind also. So we have created that roots in the industry, and we have been, that's the reason we have been doing well. But when it comes to the competition, we doesn't focus much what the competition are doing. People definitely see us, even we really appreciate that other people are noticing what we are doing in the industry. So that, of course, boost our morale, and we feel happy and encouraged, empowered. Okay, other people are following, we get to hear a lot many times, okay, this is what people think about us. And they think that, okay, teamwork is a competition now, right? But we try to keep us away from the hardcore competition.
Okay. So, there's one thing that, in terms of entrepreneurship, I want to know from your mindset in this very specific context, that when you say that, you focus on your growth and your company's growth and keeping yourself away from the competition. So, they say one thing that when you're really starting out, you need to do a market research, understand the business, the nitty gritties, and you definitely did that during your job time and everything. So, if I ask you to kind of relate it, because not knowing the competition and not really knowing the all nuances, let's say when you talk about those plants, right, in a metaphorical way,
Mm.
so they would definitely be looking at your pricing factors, how you are pricing your clients and how are they pricing their clients, coming around a competitive price. And let's so when we talk about those terms, do you really consider them, or you like, no, we've kind of set up our own league? Let's say, if I for just giving an analogy, apple apple doesn't really care, right? Even if it's putting an iPhone at 60,000, 90,000, it knows people will buy it, because there is a quality factor attached to it, no matter what, right? So does the same thing happens with you and your company and your mindset as well?
Absolutely, I agree with you on this. We work on these lines only. When it comes to the cost, we are not
Mm-hmm.
selling or we are not giving Apple rates.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but
Mm-hmm.
we position ourselves and we are actually establish ourselves that we are different, and we have created that niche. So if I was saying that, okay, during that time I thought that I want to start the company, to be very frank, it was
Mm-hmm.
not in the mind that okay, I want to start it today only, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I believe that I started before that. I thought about it,
Mm-hmm.
to be very frank. And so it was not like that I joined the communication firm to just learn the nitty gritties. That was the need of the hour.
Mm-hmm.
We started, see, everything is revolving and moving over a period of time, right? Who moved
Right.
my cheese? If you will not evolve yourself over a period of time and you not understand, a entrepreneur, a person who will never ever understand what they want to do, they will never
Mm-hmm.
be able to learn, right? So keeping that in mind, we achieved, and we were very clear on these part, where
Okay.
what we are doing, we are very clear, okay, this is what we want to achieve, and we have been doing it. So this has given us confidence, to be very frank, at some extent. We
Mm-hmm.
are doing right, we are going in a right direction, and that's why we are
Mm-hmm.
here today. Maybe I'm overconfident again,
Okay. 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 No, no, I understand this thing. I
but
understand.
to be very frank, it's going pretty well. This formula is going pretty well with us.
I get it. I get it. Okay. Nikki, moving on. This is a good thing that you just enlightened us with, how you are working around with the competition and creating your own league, I would say, out there. So, my next question that really comes up is okay, I'm kind of falling short of questions, but okay. So, tell me this thing that
I can ask.
knowing the yeah, tell me.
No, no. If you are falling out of questions, I can ask questions.
You can definitely ask me questions. That's not an issue.
Okay, okay, yeah. Please carry on. Yeah, I'll definitely do.
Okay, okay, okay. So I mean, so honestly, sometimes it does happen with me that after some point I do fall short of questions, because I get sometimes just lost in the journey of my guest, thinking about it and everything that happens. So yes, my question that was actually sticking with me, and I really want to ask is, Nikki, after killing the competition, after going through all these struggles, which has been quite a lot and everything, now you're at a very good position, honestly. Okay, and everything has gone in the positive direction from 8,000 to 8 CR, really good amount. So what I want to know is, what do your parents say now? How do they see you now? Because as you said, you're the first woman entrepreneur of your family, and they're running such a huge business. So what is their outlook towards you now?
So their outlook has completely changed, and they have seen over a period of time, me as a growing. So certainly, it's a really proud moment for them. Um,
Mm-hmm.
they feel really emotional, connect more they it's a very very proud moment for any parent, I would say. They feel extremely like, okay, I am doing equivalent to or better than my father. So that's how they relate, your parents relate to you.
Hmm.
So that's what they are absolutely happy and feel im- proud on me.
Right. So, talking about this thing, I mean, I'm going a bit back in the journey, out of the timeline, but I really want to know when we're talking about this thing that, so this, honestly, I have had this conversation with another guest of mine, and he also told me that, there's a difference that comes from the society also, because talking about Kanpur and the kind of place this is, all the things are kind of known to people all around, right?
Mhm.
कि इसका बेटा उसकी बेटी फलाना ढिमकाना सब पता होता है. So how has the perspective really changed about women being entrepreneur? Because honestly, I haven't heard of a lot of women entrepreneurs out of Kanpur. So many people would be knowing about you in Kanpur right now. So what do they think? And do you really think so that you have set up that milestone of changing people's perspective out there?
Certainly, the perspective has changed. Everyone's, I would say, everyone's perspective has changed. The way they used to see me, and now it has changed. Um, to be very frank, Sarthak, as a woman entrepreneur, as a when you do something, now you gain a lot
Hmm.
of credibility, lot of respect in people's mind. I am not, to be very frank, not going frequently to Kanpur, not connected, but now people connect with me. I don't have time to connect with people in today's time. I'm extremely occupied in my work. But yes, I people approach me for the job. People approach me for the help. So for in many ways they approach me, um, you know, to get their work done. So of course the perception has changed. And when you do something and when you achieve something, no, in life, the perceptions automatically change over a period of time. So that's
Yeah,
the bitter reality of the word.
I guess that is how we would call it. That is why we will call it a life.
Yeah, absolutely, you can say that, absolutely.
Because that is how we grow, that is how a person matures, and everything happens around him, and it completely comes down to the kind of observation and everything we see and learn during a lifetime. So just quoting this from another guest, and a very reality for every entrepreneur, I would say that. So he told us on the show that he wouldn't really understand why his father would treat him the way he would treat him unless it really happened with him, and he realized, okay, so this was the reason that my father would ask me to maintain the finances, because it is mandatory and this is how you do it. So I guess that's how life teaches us lessons.
Absolutely,
Mm.
absolutely. So perception, life, things, everything changes when you become something. Okay,
Right,
relations also,
right,
over a period of time, when you become something, when you achieve something in life, people see you in a different perspective altogether. People use
right.
some different glasses to see you. They see you in different colors, you know.
Definitely. And when we're talking about perspective, Nikki, I want to ask this.
Their opinion
Uh,
even changes over a period of time.
Definitely it changes. So, what I was going to ask you is, Nikki, how has your perspective changed? I mean, you definitely would have had some perspective when you came in Delhi, and now when you are here, what has really changed in your mindset? How do you see things? Like, what's the major change if you see to it?
It has changed completely. Completely, it has changed, Sarthak. 100%. I
Okay.
I earlier I used to think everything. Now I think only business. Absolutely. This is for me everything. In today's time, I only think about only business. That's how the perspective has changed completely, because when you are when you are doing job, you have life, you have work, you have family, you have house to handle, many things to roles to play, right? But over a period of
Right.
time, as an entrepreneur, I have seen many people, many entrepreneur
Hmm.
friends I have, you know they are, if you are looking for a person who has really grown from the root now, they are they are always 24/7 thinking about their work, their business, how they can start something new, how they can do. So my perspective has completely changed. Earlier, I used to be different person altogether. Now it is more
Hmm.
over a business. I see things completely in a different manner. um,
Hmm.
of course, the communication industry has changed, the people have changed, how the things are evolving, the entire perspective, entire thinking, of course everything has changed. Of course, now I have kids, so I look after the kids also, so they are also two elements to look after.
Right. And the elements keep on telling you, कि "Mama phone नीचे रखो." Right,
Yes,
right.
yes,
So
yes.
when we're talking about perspective, and you've clearly mentioned that, it has changed and now you think more about business. And when we talk about growth in business and overall life and leaving a legacy and creating an empire, we also talk about uh, expansions and investments. And you clearly mentioned earlier that, when you were really starting out, you and your husband didn't have any savings. You would put everything back into the business. So what are your money management plans now? Have you guys invested in multiple businesses, or you have investment in real estates and something, where you have, which creates your passive sources of income, and your business gives you one source? So
No,
how is your money management like now?
we are completely bootstrapped and we are completely investing on our business. We
Okay.
have not invested in real estate or anything, but because we think we have to, it's not just the one business, we are doing other businesses also. So
Mm-hmm.
we are majorly investing in other businesses, not making money, but yes, we
Mm-hmm.
are making them big.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So real estate, something we have invested in real estate. The house where I'm living in, we have invested in that, but not the investment part of type.
Right.
Okay, I'm
Right.
getting a kind of a money from there. No, not really, but yes, we are investing in different businesses to make them grow and make them big.
Okay,
So
so
that is what we
Nikki, right. So this very intriguing question that I really have, because you're really big and I really look up to you for a lot of stuff, and so I really want to understand this thing. Let's say, by God's grace, nothing of the sort happens, but then there's a point in time where, you really need some money, you really need some urgent cash flows or anything of that sort.
have.
Right. How would you really manage that situation in that case?
I have my connections to use that. I told you, na, I'm into public relations, so relations
That's being very resourceful. Yeah,
I
that's
have
being very resourceful.
I have those relations to, if I need money. So we always, when it comes to business, we
Uh-huh.
are maintaining our expenses, I would say. We never lend in such situation where we need to lend money from others. But if in case we need, um,
Hmm.
over a period of time, we have created our relations that if we need it, we can get it. But yes, but if you are looking for if there are two perspective,
Hmm.
um money, what kind of a money you are talking about, generating money for the business or from the business?
Matlab, it could be just any situation which requires, you to put in a certain amount of cash immediately, a certain amount of money. It could be, some emergency. It could be anything of that sort. Let's say call it an emergency,
So
right?
we got, in fact, multiple agents, international agencies also approach us for the, accusation and all. over,
Mm-hmm.
last couple of years, but we are not very keen for that, to be very frank, right now, because we want
Okay.
to strengthen our presence more. And accordingly, if we'll see, right now we are not in thought, we haven't thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
If required, not right now, if it required, we'll go for that. But when it comes to the money point of view, for business or from business, by
Mm-hmm.
God grace, we have enough, and if we need, we have enough resources from where we can get that. Not generating revenue means money for funding or all, if you are asking, not right now. But yeah, we got
Mm-hmm.
initial some proposals before that, but not right now, we are not looking for that.
Okay, okay, okay. That's really nice. Yeah. Okay. Now, next thing that I want to ask you, Nikki, are you money minded?
I'm money minded. I believe
Yeah, I
every entrepreneur is money minded. Tell me, I am, if you are asking me, this is very interesting question. Money minded, I've seen people, if I will compare myself, Sarthak,
right.
with others
Mm,
means I am very small in this sea. Okay.
right,
I meet people who have company of worth rupees 20,000 crores or 2,000 crores or 200 crores. I'm giving you hypothetical numbers. Okay,
right.
big giants, they will tell me, oh, Nikki, can you do me a favor, can you please do this release in this thing, we are doing a social work. In that case, we are, of course, every entrepreneur should be money minded, and I am
Mm-hmm.
money minded, I will not shy away to say that. But there are different parameters, there are different situations.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to employees, when it comes to office expenses, and putting money for the team, doing some hirings, we are not very very money minded in those terms. If we
Mm-hmm.
say HR, okay, let's hire somebody in 10L or 12L package, if she comes and come back to us, okay, we are getting somebody in 14 or 15L, we say, okay, that's fine, we can see, we like the person, we don't mind giving more money in that, right? But
Mm-hmm.
if in case somebody is taking our hard earned money, of course I'm
Mm-hmm.
behind it. So it depends on the different situation where we are. And
Mm-hmm.
but I think every entrepreneur, every business person should be money minded, otherwise how will they earn?
Absolutely, absolutely agreed. Because honestly, this is a very subjective question,
It's
right?
very subjective question, and it has a different situations, it depends on the situation. When it comes to the office parties, when it comes to the any celebration, when it comes to the employee team members expenditures, if when it comes to any any trips and all, we don't mind
Right.
spending money. When it comes to, of course, how
Mm-hmm.
we can save money, every business person should think about that. So we become money minded, and I am money minded, and I won't mind saying that.
Right, right. And Nikki, if I like talking to a lot of entrepreneurs, I've always realized that many entrepreneurs
Hmm.
have bigger than life goals, which is towards serving towards humanity. Right. If I talk about yours, do you have any or something which you're working towards?
Towards humanity.
Right. I mean, something everyone has something close to their heart. Someone's funding some NGO, someone's doing something, helping poor, helping some of that sort. So, if do you do anything of
I
that sort?
want to help. I want to do something for kids' education and their health. Is
Mm-hmm.
another vertical. I really want to do something, and I am very very keen. If anybody is listening, any NGO, and for this thing also for child, this thing, I am very very in for this. I want to really, I'm looking for somebody where I can contribute my efforts, put my energy and put my mind, hard work, money also, I won't mind, to some
Mm-hmm.
extent. Child education and child health, these are the two areas which is really close to my heart, and I want to do something on these two areas specifically.
Wow. That's that's really great, yeah. That's really great. So I guess that with that, we are almost towards the end of the podcast, and I am really running short of questions if I really want to ask anything, which I don't think so that I'm left with anything because you've honestly given me everything. If I talk about your struggle, we know your struggle, we know the mindset, we know the what you've come across through and how you have grown a lot. So there's one thing that I definitely would ask you. Ki it could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. So Nikki, I wanted to share one instance or one story, like which you always remember from your business life. Now, not from the struggle part, but now from the entrepreneurial journey, which probably you cherish. Give me some really good instance, which you like look back and like, oh, that was really good, and you love to talk about it. Tell me something on that side.
You want some examples, incidents?
Yeah, some very good incident, some story which you always cherish in your entrepreneurial journey.
I always cherish. I always
Right.
cherish the best part that as an entrepreneurial journey, yes.
Yeah, in your entrepreneurial, some very good story that you remember, some incident that happened with you.
Mm, so that's as I told you about the Goa one our journey, that when we went to a fam trip to Goa. So
Right.
those were really very very keen, insightful. So I will tell you multiple examples here. I would love
Sure,
to
sure.
if you have time. So
I have time. I would love to, please.
there are multiple things. So first thing, for me it's a mantra also, and
Uh-huh.
this mantra also for me, that retaining clients. For first thing, why you must be thinking why I'm answering this, retaining clients. Why? Because if I say teamwork is 10-year-old, we have clients since beginning which are 8 years, with have been working with us for 8 years, 9 years. We have multiple clients, not one or two. With them we have very interesting journeys. Like, we, as I told you, we went to Goa, and we were staying with the clients, we were partying, late night parties, dance, DJ. It was, a lot of events we were doing, and they were not
Mm.
knowing, okay, right, that we are we are husband and wife, and so that's also a very very professional part of it. When you are doing something, you are delivering client, they have been with us for almost 8 years, so that becomes more interesting with you.
Mm-hmm.
Recommendation is another thing, that we really look forward in our entrepreneurial journey. I always remember, and that's really worked with us. um,
Mm-hmm.
that whatever business that we get, it's moreover a recommendation business. So that is also one part of it,
Okay.
which I will always remember, and I would love to tell my kids also at some extent, okay, this is something one should really spend on and deliver what you. I think I teach my kids a lot of business books also. I tell
Wow.
story. Though my elder one is only 7.5, but Jack Ma and all these books I read for him at night, daily 2 pages. That's my daily practice that I do, so that he can inculcate those tips. And I always tell him my story also whenever we are sitting and all. So for
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneurial journey, we have many interesting stories. These are the few points which I really wanted to highlight. Invest on your relationship, and do better for your clients. you know Believe in your dreams and their dreams too, then only they will stay with you,
Right.
right? So that's the biggest this thing I believe, and that's the biggest mantra and entrepreneurial mantra for me. And when it comes to um, you know we did a lot of
Mm-hmm.
awareness things for many diseases, because here when it comes to health and health communication, it is related to life and death. If you are not
Mm.
telling, if you are giving any one wrong information, it is related to somebody's life and death. So we knew
Right.
somebody has to be really sensitive what you are communicating in the media, what you are communicating, what you are telling. It's not the vanilla thing, right? It is
Mm-hmm.
lifestyle stuff. It is a very sensitive stuff what you are talking about in the media. So
Right.
we try and give the best clear message and clean message to the audience.
Right, right, right. So these are good instances, yeah. Definitely good instances. And you've somewhere already answered my next question that I was going to ask you, that what are your business mantra or business tips that you would want to give to the listeners? So if there's still something that you would want to give, please do.
As I just said, my biggest business mantra, I believe in my dreams. I believe what I want to do. I am very clear what I want to achieve. So if somebody is very, very clear what someone wants to achieve, just don't follow what others are saying. Believe in your dreams, believe in your thoughts, believe in you, and you are there. So this is what is my biggest business mantra. What I always personally focus, what I want to achieve, I deliver my
Hmm.
best, and let competition notice what you are doing. Forget everything, just focus on yourself, what you want to,
Right,
and things
right,
follow. The like attracts like, the secret rule.
right.
Follower,
Definitely.
I'm a big follower of the secret, and that's how I follow it. And my life is completely dependent on that. Like attracts like. What
I can
you feel, the
understand.
same you get.
I can understand. I can completely understand that.
It is for everybody. If you think, if you have some fear, to be very frank, if you have any
Hmm.
fear and you will keep thinking about that, you will get similar situations in your life. When you don't have any fear, you will always think positive. It is not possible for anybody always think positive, but just focus what you want to achieve. If you are focusing what you want to be achieved, not today but tomorrow, you will be there.
Right. I can understand and I can completely agree to that. Okay, so with that said, we are definitely at the end of the podcast, and there's nothing else that I would want to
What
ask you
is
after
your
this.
business mantras, Sarthak? Can I ask?
Yeah, sure, 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 please. So if I if I talk about my mantra, see, my mantra is pretty straightforward. I believe that, firstly, you need to be very clear with what you want to achieve and what you're really looking for in life. And once you know, just head on to it. Don't listen to anyone because there are gonna be lots and lots of people that are gonna tell you don't do this, don't do that. This
So
is
we
for
are on
this.
the same page.
We are definitely on the same page. Definitely on the same page because I know that people talk shit. Honestly, people talk shit, and there are gonna be people always talking something. They need something, and y- anyone when you're trying to do something, what I say that you're trying to do something different. Being an entrepreneur, you're trying to do something different out there, and it really needs some balls. So you gotta stick to the hard times, and hard times are gonna be very tough. They're gonna make you.
More hard.
I would, they're gonna make you mold. That is something, but I'm like they'll crib you down. They'll put you
Yes,
down on your knees.
they will break you. So
They will
that is what.
break you.
In fact, we have three businesses, Sarthak. So
Right.
whenever we start anything new, we never
Hmm.
ever tell or discuss anyone.
Right.
We just discuss internally and
Hmm.
just tell the team, decide the team, and tell them, okay, execute it. Now, if we have any partner in this business, in any business,
Hmm.
then only we discuss it. In right now, we don't have any partner in any business, but
Wow.
we too are managing things. But when we
Hmm.
discuss or come up with many any ideas, we do it. We discuss internally, okay, this is what we want to do. If we are confident, we are giving confidence to the team, it penetrates, you know.
It definitely does. I can completely agree to that. And honestly, this is something we can completely relate to the current times. That it is our job to keep the team together because the team is definitely gonna fall apart if we don't keep them together, specifically during these times because these are very tough times mentally, physically, and in terms of work. So it is something that we need to give that confidence that this is gonna work out even though we know in our heart it might or it might not, but we need to keep them together. So it does become our job, I would say.
Absolutely. We are very, very clear on these things. We take decision, we tell the team, and then we execute it together. We execute initially. You have to do team client team hand holding, because it's your idea, you need to get it executed. Then
I
you
know.
become account director, account manager, or whatever it requires. And then keeps on moving. But initially, whatever we decide, we keep it with us, and we don't discuss with others, because the more you will discuss, the more confused you will get.
I can see. I can totally understand. I have some. I've been through good instances for that,
Mm.
so I can completely understand that thing. Right. So, Nikki, there's one thing that we do on our show, that before we end the show, we ask our guests to recommend us another entrepreneur whom you think has a very inspiring journey, and we can call them on show and talk about it. So, whom would you recommend?
I would like to recommend many names I have, but I would like
Okay.
to recommend here Kamal, who is doing a healthcare advocacy and
Okay.
running successful organizations. And he is creating a name in the industry, and doing a big national level work when it comes to the healthcare.
Then I'm just gonna request you that do connect me with him, and I'll make sure that he comes here and we talk about it, and I'll do give you both each other's links that you can also listen to, and help each other and help others also who are listening to you guys grow, and help me also grow somewhere, right? Because I honestly listen to everyone so many stories, and there's every time I'm getting to learn something, and I just feel so good about it. I have no words to explain. Right. So guys,
Absolutely, yeah.
this was Nikki Gupta with us. Such an amazing journey, I would say. And I mean, firstly, what I really want to point out is Nikki has started her journey, guys, after business journey after the marriage, and she's looked at business during her childhood and a young age. And it really requires balls, yeah, when I talk about it, because coming down to Delhi with such a low amount, you can't really sustain in that amount, honestly. So anyone who's listening, and if you're from Delhi, you know the harsh reality of life in Delhi, and the kind of job Nikki did from 4,000 to 40,000, and then from starting the business, borrowing money to really delivering to clients and getting an MNC client. My God, that is something. And what you really need to pick up, guys, from her journey is one thing that I am definitely picking up: keep your eyes straight, and keep your focus completely straight in terms of what your goals are and what you want to achieve. If you want to do it, do it. That is something I'm really picking up from Nikki. And keep believing in yourself. You will get through it.
Thank
So,
you, Sarthak, for having me here and
right.
reaching and telling people about my journey. And
Thank you so much, Nikki, for coming in. And with that said, before I forget, also, guys, if anyone who's in the healthcare industry and you wanna get your healthcare PR done, do reach out to Nikki. And Nikki has got other businesses in education and different sectors. I guess I just forgot the third sector. I'm so
corporate,
sorry. So
corporate
Nikki, please
health
do tell it.
and
And
education.
before I forget,
No worries. We can understand. We can understand, Sarthak. So many questions, so many entrepreneurs, and so many people you interview. We can understand, completely relate to it. And you are doing phenomenal thing, and taking people's journey to, entrepreneurs' journey to people, to make them encourage and aware, and help them also to grow at some extent. So it is really encouraging, and we are really thankful that you are taking it forward.
thank you so much, Nikki, for the kind words. Thanks a lot. So, Nikki, is there anything that we could? I know probably in the service sector there's nothing, but still, is there something that you can give to our listeners who are listening to you
About
uh,
entrepreneur
about no, not entrepreneurship, maybe some service code or some kind of
service.
discount if I'm asking for it.
Okay. So, Sarthak, to be very frank, public relations is a very different thing. There is a no hard and fast, rate card, because it's a completely customized thing. Okay.
I know.
When it somebody is going what kind of a national campaigning, or what exactly that you want, or you want a city specific thing, what exactly that you are looking forward. But since you have asked, we have not created any code, but TWPR, I can create matlab I can share a quote or a special quote only for you for your podcast is TWPR 10, which if they come and reach out to us, we will give a special discount to them of 10% on the communication side. It will be a national campaign or whatever campaign that they select. We will definitely help them, and we will be happy to have any of our your listener to be and part of a teamwork family.
Great guys, great. Now I need you guys to understand कि boss जो हमारे national campaigns होते हैं बहुत ज़्यादा expensive होते हैं, so your 10% really matters. So do take up this opportunity. I definitely take up this opportunity. You guys have no idea कितने महंगे महंगे काम होते हैं ये. सबको लगता है आसान काम है, नहीं है आसान काम. मान जाओ मेरी बात.
No, no, creating a brand, it's not a one day job. It's definitely take lot of efforts, lot of mind, lot of energy, lot of thought process, lot of strategy, energy, everything. So it requires many things to make actually campaign and the brand successful. If you have really good product but you are not doing good packaging, good branding, your product is dead. I've seen many brands who come and go, so it definitely matters how you are packaging your brand, how you are promoting your brand, how you are doing branding. Everything matters because in today's time every customer is educated, right?
Right,
Everybody knows, everyone knows where to go, what to do and how to do. If you are not, they have a neck of the clear thing. Okay, this logo is not that great, this website is not great, that website is great. So of course all the brands and everybody has to be very strategically clear what they want, what they really want to promote in the their target audience. If you are not promoting, your brand is going to be disappeared over a period of time, right? So
right,
strategies are definitely required for any brand to grow them, make them grow.
right.
Helpful, always helpful.
So guys, when I say this, see Nikki has just said it in probably a minute or so. जितना काम लगता है, but ये एक मिनट नहीं महीनों का काम होता है. So 10% है ले लेना. I would definitely say use that. With that said, I wanna really thank you so much, Nikki, because you already told us how busy you are, and I know how busy you are, and how since how long we have been planning to do this. So thank you so much for taking out the time and coming on the show and enlightening us about your journey. It's been really amazing experience and lovely to talk to you.
Same here,
I've got
same
no
here,
more.
Sarthak. Same here, Sarthak. Thank you for having me here once again. And it was really, encouraging somebody asking me so many questions after really long about the journey. It really remembers, helps you to remembering from where you started. So,
Right, I understand. Thank you so much, Nikki. And I'll make sure that, post this lockdown, I'm able to come to the office and see you once.
absolutely,
And I'll
absolutely.
definitely love to do that. So I'll definitely see you soon. And thank you so once again for coming in. Bye bye.
Thanks. Bye.
I hope that you're able to take back something insightful from this podcast and apply it in your life to be a better version of yourself and add to your Dhandho Soch. If you know someone whom you think should feature on my podcast and has a very inspiring entrepreneurial journey, then do drop me a DM on my Instagram, SarthakVarshney. Sarthak Varshney. Yeah, that's me. I'm the founder of SV Clicks, and SV Clicks is the producer of this show. You can find me on Facebook or LinkedIn as well with the same name. If you're willing to listen to more of such unheard, inspiring stories of the entrepreneurs, then don't forget to follow us by pressing that follow button on your podcast screen. Thank you for being such an amazing audience. Keep learning, keep growing. We'll be back soon. See ya.